Right, YouTubers, how's things? It's been a minute since I got on here and done something, so I thought I'd get on. Had a bit of a Sunday lunch there and a bit of dessert, so full of beans. Haven't been getting on because I don't really want to be putting up stuff for the sake of it. Just putting up fucking content and shouting at me all the time. I was going to put one up a couple of days ago, but I've been kind of busy and just fucking acting the shithead a little bit, enjoying the last of the fucking good weather and that, you know. But a year here now, since Friday. I think that was the first Friday, and I thought I'd put something up. Just, I suppose, moving over here, it's been one of the most eventful and uneventful years of my life, in the sense that loads of shit has happened around the world, and a good bit has happened within, I suppose you can call it, my new life. I'm not all about that new year, new me. I'll start on Monday, but just put it into some sort of context. A few things have happened to myself over here, but yeah, I've done fuck all basically as well. I've done a lot of sitting around, reflecting, relaxing, chilling, illing, ain't no killing. No, but yeah, basically I've done a lot, and I've done fuck all. I'm just gonna sit down here, get all philosophical on the side of a cliff. First couple of months I came over, as I mentioned in one of the last videos, I had a bit of a fucking bad time for a long time at home, but then I kind of got too much, so I've decided to move out over here a bit earlier than I was expecting to, and got myself together for the first while. Nothing really happened, which was nice. And then, like everybody else knows, eventually something did happen. The whole world, fucking COVID. So that turned everything upside down for everybody, especially over here. Like I mentioned before, is the lockdown was fairly fucking strict over here. So there was nothing to be done except sit around with your own thoughts, which I had already done for about, I was already done for about 6 months before. But basically when I got on and if anybody's out there thinking of moving, even if it's to the next town or the next fucking council estate or the next fucking wherever it is, and you feel like it's going to be good for you, do it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm fucking happy and I'm, you know what I mean, jumping around with joy all the time, but I'm probably the happiest and most comfortable I've ever been within myself in my whole life. And that's because sometimes you have to take yourself out of a situation to really understand what's been going on and what's been annoying you and what's been getting at you. You know, you find them days, fucking weeks, months, years, you're walking around angry and you don't understand why. You keep blaming it on stupid things like, you know what I mean, the weather and fucking, I must have ate something shite last night, or, you know what I mean, that hangover must have been longer than the 2 days, or fucking something. You're always putting it on something. But you never really sort it out because you're straight back into the routine of getting hungover again, or eating shy, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? But one thing I've kind of noticed or realised when I got over here is a lot of stuff through my life that I've been putting to one side. And I'm always one for telling people you need to deal with things and blah blah blah, but with stuff from back when I didn't know not that I knew how to, but well, I guess I do know how to a little bit better, but I didn't even know they had to be dealt with, you know what I mean? Understanding myself a bit more, why I act the way I do sometimes, or my behaviours and this, that and the other, so that way it was nice. And I took myself out of a lot of stress. I remember the first couple of months coming over here, as I say in the start of the video there, I'm about 30 seconds away from the house, a minute and a half most to walk. And I didn't enjoy this spot too much during the summer because it's just too fucking warm. Getting up here, you sweaty mess. You can't even sit down on the rocks because there's so much wildlife and insects, but it's starting to cool down now, so things are starting to change. But we came here pretty much every night for the first couple of months, headphones in, smoking a joint or whatever it was, and I was able to enjoy music again. Most of that will watch this know that I'm into my music, a musician for a lot of my life, and I absolutely love music. And back home, whatever it was, I just couldn't enjoy it because either the music was triggering happier or worse times. Couldn't enjoy it. Just the stress and everything else. Stress and anger turns you into a different person, and I'll always have that about me, which is part of who I am. But having a 24/7, 365 for God knows how many years, you know what I mean? And in saying that, I've had those moments over here too in the last couple of months, but not as bad as I would back home because they've been only little moments, I guess you can say. It hasn't been constant and hasn't been one problem on top of another. Where it kind of has been little problems on top of little problems, but stuff that I could have handled. Maybe I could have handled them better if it wasn't just straight out fucking lockdown and COVID and everything else, because it was a bit unstable. And I'm sure a lot of us were coming out and not realising it, especially over here. Like, I like to chat and I like to have a conversation with people, but most of the time I don't even like to look at people. And when I came out with COVID, Jesus, I was trying to chat to everybody. Somebody just please give me a conversation. I was a fucking vocabulary whore. Just chatting shit, you know what I mean? Good shit though, funny shit. But yeah, I came out of lockdown and I got myself into a stressful situation with a few things or another. But that's all gone. I'm done and dusted now. Learned my lesson. Made me a better person. And like I said, things are still quiet over here. It's getting back bit by bit. So now I'm just sitting there out. You know what I mean? Happier than I've ever been in my life. Doesn't mean that I'm not sad and depressed and anxious some days, or I'm not having a bad time, because that's life. It's never going to be fucking all rainbows and fucking jelly babies. Yeah, I don't know. Just get yourself out of the norm, if that's the norm, and people say, oh, it's not this and it's not that, because you make excuses. Guilt overrides truth. You know what I mean? When you feel guilty, well, it's normal for us to feel guilty or have a conscience. Some of us hide it well, and some of us don't realise we're guilty and have a conscience of whatever it is. And people always seem to make us feel that way as well through their own insecurities, and they might not even realise that themselves. You know what I mean? It's just built into them from over years of whatever. You know what I mean? And that's what gets us is guilt. You don't want to separate from certain people around you because of guilt, even though you know that maybe they're fucking draining your good energies, and that, you know what I mean, that it's making it exhausted. Sometimes it's just the people around us that exhaust us, constantly fucking demanding that centre of attention, or demanding, you know what I mean, some sort of acceptance, but from the wrong people, so they drag you into it, you know what I mean? But look, we're all humans, you know what I mean? We're all humans, and denial is another big thing as well that we all get ourselves into, and it's so strong. And obviously in the human nature, we never want to be wrong, we never want to admit that maybe we're doing the wrong things, because it's just a sense of pride that we have built into us. But all these little things can add up and cause us to stay in situations, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a job, a gym, fucking, you know what I mean? The same fucking milk that you've been drinking, you know what I mean, and it's not good, you know. And these are just little examples that of our own power, you know what I mean, towards ourselves and others. But it has to start here within us before we can give it to anybody else or help anybody else. So yeah, so I'm over here a year. Things are alright at the moment. Buzzing about a little bit. Some days are good, some days are bad. Some days I have a pain in my bollocks, some days I don't. You know what I mean? That's all part of the cartoon that we live in. So I just thought I'd get on. I've been putting it off for a couple of days, and I've been a few weeks since I got on, and just thought I'd get it out there, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to book a Ryanair ticket and go to somewhere and see how it is. I came over here with fucking no money basically, and like I said on other places, on other videos, I haven't really worked too well over here because of certain things and COVID. But nothing is impossible. being happy isn't impossible. It's hard and it's a daily struggle, but it's a struggle that I'd rather be in than struggling to get out of bed or struggling just to do anything in life, struggling to think good about myself. So yeah, that's my fucking story and I'm sticking to it. Quick 10 minutes. Hopefully over this winter, over this coming months now, I'm going to get a decent podcast out. Like I was saying in the first video, just putting these out, trying to get a bit of an audience and seeing how it goes. And this winter, it gets quiet over here, and it's already been quiet this summer, so I'll probably get a podcast together at some stage. The only other goal I have this winter in Spain is to try get me driving license, which is going to be a bit difficult as you can only do the theory test in English. You have to do the full license then in Spanish, so that's going to be fun. Right, so I'm on my way home. Didn't sleep that well last night, just had a bit of lunch and I'm going home to spend the day on the sofa, I think. Catch up on my soaps, EastEnders Omnibus. No, not really, but anyway, stay safe, stay well, and sláinte.